Hey folks, I'm Scott Carter with Gatorzone.com. I'm here with my colleague Chris Harry, and Chris just actually got back in town a few hours ago from Tuscaloosa, where the Gators beat Alabama last night. Had some plane trouble, so they had to stay there overnight, and now they have Tennessee, Chris, coming into the O-Dome tomorrow afternoon. I mean, just is that a problematic for the Gators in any way, you think?
Well, just it's an inconvenience more than it's any adversity or anything. What Florida had to do was stay overnight again after the Alabama game, and basically were able to sit around a little bit in the hotel and get their rest, and they had to get up early today and probably get back in town to get ready for a quick turnaround with Tennessee. But it gave them time to kind of process a good win. Go on the road to Alabama, which had won 14 straight SEC games at home. That was the longest streak in the league. They were 25-2 since 2010 at home in SEC play, and the Gators came out and any win, no matter, and it wasn't a pretty win.
Yeah.
Any win on the road in the Southeastern Conference is a good win. Now the Gators had a lot of, I would say, lopsided wins on the road last year. Now they're grinding some out, and that's okay. You learn how to win games that way. It was another single-digit result. Gators are now 8-2 in games decided by single digits. They're finding a way to win on the road, finding a way to win at home.
Yeah, when we talked before the Alabama game, you mentioned that one thing that Alabama would want to do is take away the three-point line. And they did that somewhat, but one guy they didn't stop was Michael Frazier. He finally got it going there in the second half, ended up with 5 threes. Just how important is that going to be maybe against this Tennessee team and going forward to keep them hot?
Well, it was important, obviously, because Florida made 10 three-pointers. Alabama made 2. Now, Florida didn't shoot a great percentage. I think it was 35%. They were 10 for 28. Alabama was 2 for 12. There's your difference in the game right there. They were playing catch-up. The Crimson Tide were playing catch-up basically the whole game. Frazier missed his first 2. He missed his only 2 at Auburn. Kind of found his rhythm a little bit. Had a big 4-point play toward the end of the first half. Springboarded him in the second half. They had a nice cushion. Defensively, the Gators were much better in the half court against Alabama, and Trevor Relaford, the very, very talented guard, finishes well around the basket. They did much better on dribble drive penetration than they did at Auburn a few days ago when Auburn got too many easy baskets in the eyes of the coaches.
Tennessee comes in here. This is a team that has given the Gators troubles. I think 13 wins against Florida since 2005. It's always a matchup that is a tough one for Florida in recent years. What do you see maybe as being important for Florida in this game Saturday afternoon?
Well, they've won 3 straight in the series. Cuonzo Martin is unbeaten against Billy Donovan dating back the last 2 seasons. So it's about physicality. I mean, when you're talking about some forwards, you got Jerron Maben, and you got Jarnell Stokes. They're both 6'8", 260 pounds. Both have great hands, and they control things underneath. Florida has to match that physicality underneath. What Tennessee's done the last few times they played is kind of punch them in the mouth a little bit, and what do you got? Yeah. And Florida has kind of been playing from behind in these games the last few times. This will be about it's going to be a physical game. Florida's going to challenge their guards. One of those guards is Jordan McRae. He's averaging 19 points a game. He had 34 this week against Arkansas. He lit up Florida for 27 last year at Knoxville. He's going to be a challenge for Scotty Wilbekin, but the Gators are going to go right at these guys and see if they can, be the aggressors this time, whereas Tennessee has been the aggressors the last few times.
Well, Chris, we're going to find out Saturday afternoon how the Gators do against the Vols here at the O-Dome, where they've won a program record 25 in a row, which should obviously help. But before that game, you're going to have a lot of other events going on here at the O'Connell Center. It's Pack the Dome weekend here. Starting Friday night with gymnastics, you have Georgia coming to town, the Gym Dogs against the Gators, who first time here since they've won the national championship. And then on Saturday, you have men's swimming, women's swimming against Auburn. Then you got the Gators Vols men's basketball. And finally on Sunday, a busy weekend wraps up with Auburn against the Florida women's basketball team. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys watching here this weekend at the O-Dome. For Chris Harry, I'm Scott Carter. Thanks for joining us.